What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to another video. Firstly, if you are new to the channel, please do consider smashing that subscribe button. If you are a regular viewer of the channel and you're not subscribed, what are you playing at? Get subscribing. Now, this is pretty much take 2 of the steroids in CrossFit debate. Now, the first video on steroids in CrossFit I did went crazy. It's got over 17,000 views on YouTube. If you haven't seen it already, please do check it out. It will be in the link below. But first, I want to start with kind of the guy that kicked it all off for me in this steroid debate, and that is Ricky Garard. Now, Ricky was a rookie at the 2017 games and he put on one hell of a performance, pushing Matt Fraser in numerous events. However, afterwards it was found out that Ricky Garard tested positive for a banned substance and got his 3rd place podium finish stripped, prize money stripped, and got a 4-year ban from the sport of CrossFit. Now, my question to you guys is, does Ricky Garard deserve a second chance? I stumbled across this interview earlier on today and it got me thinking. I'll show you the clip first and you can kind of see if you think he is being sincere or not, but check it out.
Alright buddy, how you going? How's training going?
Yeah, it's going good. Had a fair bit of time off recently due to a back injury.
Yeah.
So I herniated one disc and bulged the other in the lower back, snatching 120 in November last year. So that set me back for probably a good 6 weeks of getting it back to normal. So kind of January was kind of a fresh start. January, New Year, kind of made the decision to commit to the comeback. And yeah, been training pretty hard since.
So you're 2 years in now. How you going with everything post what's happened?
Yeah, so I've obviously learnt from my mistakes and adapting to everything that's happened, and I had to just move on and accept what had happened, and it was only me to blame. So I took that on myself. It was hard. Very hard at the time, and took me a good 6 months to kind of get out of that hole. And yeah, but I'm overcome now. I'm looking forward. Eyes are in the horizon, and comebacks is on my attention span, and that's where I want to head.
So what year is the comeback? 2022?
Yeah, so October 2021.
Oh, 2021.
Will be when I'm allowed back. So pretty much the new open style starting in October will be my first competition back.
Is Benny going to be your coach? Is he pumped to see you get back into it?
Yeah, he's probably more fired up than me to get me back there, because he probably sees more of the potential in me than I see in myself. So he's keeps me honest. But for now, it's kind of roles reversed, and I'm G'ing him up in training and trying to get him back on the competition floor where he brings out the best in him.
So are you going to go to Madison this year if Benny qualifies, or
yeah, for sure.
Is that his intentions to go as an individual, or is he fully focused on his business?
It's not on his radar, but if it comes to that, he'll be all in for it and he'll go over there.
Yeah.
But at the moment, his focus is just to get in that top 40 and compete at the cross.
Now, I'm a big believer in second chances and messing up. If you do it more than once, twice, 3 times, then you're a fool and you deserve to kind of take the punishment for that. However, at the time of the 2017 CrossFit Games, Ricky Garard was only 23 years old and it was his rookie year in the sport. Now, I'm not saying this is an excuse or any justification in what he did with taking a banned substance and then competing. However, at that young age, you are going to make some stupid decisions in life, whether that be in your personal life or in your professional life, what Ricky has done. Now, I also believe that it takes a certain type of person to knowingly cheat, to have an advantage over the rest of the field. All that being said, I think he deserves a second chance. That's my opinion. I think Ricky Garard deserves a second chance. And coming up to the 2022 season, Ricky's ban will be up and he will be eligible to compete in the CrossFit Games and the CrossFit Open. So I'm guessing if the Open is still in March, then March 2020 will be Ricky's first kind of action back in CrossFit. Now, it's clear he's carried on training, and there's also debate around that. As he's not affiliated with CrossFit at the moment, is he still doping? Could he still be doping, getting stronger, getting fitter, and then when his ban is lifted, he can cycle off whatever he's doping with, compete in CrossFit, and nothing will show up. That is a strong possibility. However, I like to think that he's learnt his lesson and is doing things the proper way. Maybe that's me being naive, but we don't know. And we're never gonna know until Ricky's back and we kind of see what he's like. But there we have it. That's my opinion on Ricky Garard. Now, moving on to the steroids in CrossFit debate on a whole. Now, following on from my previous video, a lot of the comments was basically saying that you'll be a fool not to think that the elite level CrossFit athletes are all on steroids. And I can't argue with that too much. Now, I understand why people think that. The amount of volume they do, how quick they recover, like just what they can do compared to the average person is insane. However, these guys train 5 or 6 hours a day, sometimes more, and they've built that volume up over a long period of time. I've spoken to a few athletes that are kind of on that borderline of maybe competing at the games, some that have competed at the games or should have competed at the games, and I genuinely believe they are not doping. Now, that's my opinion. I don't know for a fact. However, I do believe they are not doping. For example, Zach George. Zach is the hardest worker in the room, and I've had the pleasure of training with him a couple of times, getting to chat with him, and I do not believe Zach is the kind of guy that will cheat his fellow athletes in competition. So, now taking all that knowledge I've gained over the years of sports and performance, I do believe a lot of the elite level CrossFit Games athletes are on steroids. Now, I'm not going to point fingers and say so-and-so is on steroids, I think so-and-so is on steroids, but over the period of a couple of years, you see some guys absolutely rocket in their ability, their strength, their size, and you just think, Jesus Christ, how do they do that? And I know they're training so much, like, I'm not going to take anything away from them, and I know that even if you're doping, you've still got to work your ass off. However, I can't get it out of my head that I do believe a lot of the elite level athletes are on steroids. Now, why aren't CrossFit catching them? For a start, maybe their doping procedures need to be upped. Maybe they need to kind of, I don't know, reevaluate how they're testing athletes in and out of competition. Maybe take some advice from, say, organisations like the Tour de France and stuff, how they have implemented their doping regime within the cycling world. But I do strongly feel within the next year or two, maybe 3, a lot more CrossFit athletes will be found positive for doping and performance enhancing drugs. I don't know who, but I think it will happen. It's going to be very interesting when Ricky comes back and how he's going to be perceived in the CrossFit world. I hear views one side of the story that they're going to kind of like be like, yeah, everyone deserves a second chance, probably similar to me, and he served his time. And then you've got the other half that are like, no, the guy's a cheat, he doesn't deserve to compete in CrossFit again. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be really, really interesting. I do believe CrossFit need to improve their doping policies, but there's always going to be ways around it. there is always going to be ways around doping. You look at Olympic level athletes, cyclists, athletics. There's always going to be a better doctor that can find ways to hide performance enhancing drugs from the doctors that are doing the doping test. That's always going to be the case. But we just need to level that playing field a little bit more. Anyway, that is my opinion and only my opinion. That is no way factual, so please take it as you will. But I'd be really interested to know what you guys think of steroids and doping, performance enhancing drugs in CrossFit and any other sports that you may be familiar with. As always, thank you for watching this video. I appreciate every single one of your views. Please, please, please do consider smashing that subscribe button, and I will see you in the next one.